Hi guys, welcome. Danny here from the Magic Junk Drawer. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the third house in astrology. A little bit about the third house. It's the house of communication. It's the house of siblings and neighbors. It's also the house of early life education. This is where we think and what we share, and the planets that are in this house is how it affects you personally. Me, I have my moon in the third house. It's opposite the ninth house, which is the house of higher education. So you look to the third house, somebody that's a child, that's their house of education. But once you get to like adulthood and you're in college, then you look to the ninth house. Even when you're an older adult, like I've said before, my grandmother went to college I think she was in her 70s to become a paralegal. And that's a ninth house thing because she was much older, and it was something that she wanted to do, and good for her, So it's the third house of communication. It's thoughts, it's mental. Mercury retrograde's coming up, which is another mental thing. So knowing what's going on in your third house can kind of help you and how you relate to people, like your neighbors, your siblings. It could even be a little bit co-workers or people in your community, because it's what's happening around you. The third house is ruled by Gemini, because Aries would rule the first house. It's the first house, the first sign of the zodiac. The second is Taurus, and then the third is Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. It's all very mental. There's a lot of thinking, a lot of sharing, a lot of thoughts and ideas. And if you know what's happening in your third house, it can, like one time I read a chart from one of my friends, and she had Chiron there. And I said, oh, you have a problem with one of your siblings. And she was like, yeah, how'd you know? Because Chiron is the wounded warrior. And when it's in the third house, it's usually like a soul. It's like a soul wound that the soul keeps coming back to correct. So it's coming back for her in her third house. It has something to do with one of her siblings. Something is happening or something will happen, and it's to be corrected in this life. For me, I have Chiron in my 11th house, which is like the house of friends, and I have had a lot of betrayal by friends, people that were close to me, and I don't do well with that, with betrayal. Like if you're somebody that I really trust and you betray me, that's where my Chiron is. So if you don't know where your Chiron is and you're curious, you could do a free chart online. I can always look at it for you if you want me to, or you can look up online, and then if you know where it is, then you can see. Like if you see it's in your third house and you're like, oh my God, I never got along with my sister. Well, then you can understand this is why you have Chiron there, and you can kind of work to change it or make peace with it or have that kind of relief from it. Sometimes you can't change things. Sometimes you just have to accept it for what it is. But at least if you know why it's happening, you can kind of deal with it better, All right, guys, if you like what we're doing here at the Magic Junk Drawer, like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.